What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be testing our post route that we created in the last video, and we're also going to be creating a get route where we're going to get all the to-dos, and we're also going to be testing that route as well. So let's get right into the video. Alright guys, to get started, we're actually going to be needing to install our third-party modules. Our testing suite is what I like to call it. Just a little, yeah, I don't know what that was. But we are going to be installing it. So npm I, we're going to be installing expect, right? Mocha, here we go. Mocha. Node man, you should already have it globally, but it's also safe to install it locally. And so node mon super test. And if you don't know what's going on, guys, I did a video on this. I will have it on the info card and also a playlist on the description down below. So check those out if you don't know what's going on. But if you do, just stick around. We're gonna save that, but we're gonna save it to our dev because we don't want to. You know, we don't want a freaking server to actually download these things. It doesn't need to. So while that's going on, over here, we're actually going to create a new folder. It's going to be called test. Whoa. And this is where we're going to start testing all of our, requests. So inside of test, we will create a new file called server.test.js. Now we will be needing this server, so we're going to actually export this out. So module.exports equals, I'm gonna just app like that, just like that. Control save, and in here we will be calling that. So we'll be calling all of our third parties as well. So we're gonna do it right now. Const expect equals require expect oh, I named this HS. Silly me. It's supposed to be JS. That's why I was like not getting my colors. Yeah. All right. Const request. It's gonna equal require. Super test. And we can actually see we actually have them downloaded in our package.json right here. So we do expect and super test, no mock. Yeah, we have all of them. Great. Now we are gonna be testing our. We're gonna need this, our schema, right? We're gonna need this as well. But first, we're gonna actually just grab our app. So const app equals require, and it's in directory. We're gonna actually go back one because we're going back out of this folder. We're going back out of this folder. Sorry, it's gonna be in the current directory, right? We're saying it's gonna be on this one. We're actually gonna go back out of that. We're backing out to the main folder, which is this, and we're actually going to go to server. Because we need this, right? So this is basically, we're in the current folder of server.js, test.js, current folder, which is test. We're actually backing out with this .. We're backing out of this folder, going to our main folder, which is server, sorry. And then we're going to go to server.js, which is down here. But we don't have to specify .js, so that's why we leave it right there. And we're gonna do that same thing for the to do. going to equal require current folder. We're backing out and we're going inside the models. Did I spell that right? M-O-D, yeah, E-L, okay. And inside models, we need our to do. No, to do. Just like that. All right. So now that we have that, we should know how to do mocha testing. So we're first going to describe what we're going to be doing. So describe. And our description is our post method / to do's. Right, we're just organizing our testing units. This is describe. Let's just organize it, okay? Like I said, I will have a video. I already have a video. Just check it out if you don't know what's going on. And it's going to take in a function, which is like that. And in here, we should define it now. It with the it. No, it with an it. It. Now describe what it should be doing. It should create a new to do. We're gonna get a callback with done inside since this will be asynchronous. All right. Now in here we are gonna create a dummy text, so var text, because we are sending text. Remember, guys, we are sending text to our post. That's how you create things, you know, with our text. These aren't required, but this is. So that's why we're creating a dummy text equals testing to do text. Or route. You can say testing to do route. All right. Now with that in place, we're going to be using super test from here on out. And we've done it in the past with get, but it's going to be the same thing. We're going to request the app. We're going to post. We used to get, but we're actually doing the post now, right? And we have to send in the route that we want to check for, which is to do's. And then we want to send, with the post, you always send stuff, right? So we want to send, since text is, it needs to be in the form of an object, we have to send it as an object. So we're going to send text just like that. Okay, dot expect. We're expecting a 200 out of this, right? When it comes in, and if everything is correct, we do expect a 200. Now this is going to be, from here on out, it's going to be a little bit tricky, guys, so please bear with me. We're also going to expect different things from it, right? So that's why we called in the expect, so that way we can use jest, right? And we're going to be doing this by calling it like this with the response in here. So res is going to actually take in the body, and we're going to expect res dot body dot text, right, dot to be text. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and actually explain what's going on. So we're gonna post to we're gonna send the text as an object, because that's what the form we actually want to send it is, as an object. When we're gonna expect it to be a 200 when everything's done, we expect it's 200. Now we're gonna expect when it comes back as a body, we expect the body to have the text property, and that for that text to actually equal testing to do route. All right. So after this, we're not done yet. So we're gonna end it. But we're not going to end it like we used to. We used to just call in done here and just end it. But I actually want to do something before we completely end it all. So in here, we're actually going to provide an callback and this callback takes in 2 arguments: the error. If something went wrong, then we're gonna console log the error, and it's gonna take in the result, which is res. I'm gonna just call it res. If error, we're gonna return the error, what happened, okay? The reason I put return is so that if it does have an error, it won't do any of the following code that we're gonna code down here. It'll just throw back an error and just break it, or break the cycle up here. So in here, I actually want to check if the database actually has it or not. That's the thing, that the difference between when just putting done and this. I actually want to check if the database has it or not, okay? And has it in the right format. So we're gonna do that right now. That's why we needed this schema to get that. So we're gonna do todo dot find, right? So todo dot find is basically gonna find everything in the to do collection, and it's gonna return a promise. So that then we're gonna get the to dos. All right, now we can make assertions on this, okay? So we're going to expect todos dot length. All right, so when we get back todos, it's gonna come back a form as an array with objects inside the array. So that's why I do todos dot length. We're gonna expect this to be dot to be 1. Okay, nope, we're not done yet. We're also going to expect todos. We're going to get the first element inside the array dot text, since it is an object that it returns. The first element is an object, and we're going to get the dot text property from that object. We want that dot to be text up here. Remember, this is already inside the database, and we want to check that this text that's in there is actually the text that we sent. All right, that we sent. Now, if everything is done, we're gonna actually do done down here. Done. We are done. Well, not really, but actually we forgot to put done right here. Sorry, done, and we're gonna send with done the error. So we're going to return done error, and in here we're going to just return done. But if this promise fails, we're going to actually have to catch it. So dot catch. We're going to get the error, and we're going to just put done in here as well. Done, but we're going to throw in the error as well. All right. All right, I was just making sure everything was correct. So let me explain it one more time before I move on. We're gonna request the application, the Express app. We're doing a post on todos. We're gonna send the data, this data. We're gonna send that to this post. We expect a 200 if everything goes well. We expect a 200. Okay. Also, we're going to make insertions when it comes back as a body. So we expect requested function. So we're going to expect the body.text to be the text that we actually did send. And when everything ended, once we check with this, we're going to actually check for errors and the response. Okay, we're going to check if there's an error, then throw out the error. If the response is good, then we're going to actually grab it from the database. Yes, we're going to grab this from the database. And we're going to check the database if everything in there is actually great or not. So we're going to expect todos.length to be 1. I'll get into this in a second. The todos.length in a second. We're going to expect that first element in the array, the text, to be this text. And if everything goes well, we're done. If we have an error, we're going to throw out the error. That's basically the gist of it. So you could just read it. That's how great Mocha is. You could just read it and see what's going on. So with this done, we're actually going to go inside our package.json and create some scripts. So our first one that test is going to be mocha server /**. We're going to check every folder in the server folder. We're going to check every folder in the server folder /star.test.js. So we're going to check every folder in the server folder, and we're going to check every file that has test.js. It doesn't matter what the beginning, but as long as it has the extension test.js, we're going to check that. We're also going to create another one. It's going to be test-watch. And this is where we're going to actually do a nodemon on it, and we're going to execute / because we're going to actually escape these backslashes, the quotes. So inside of here, we're going to do npm test. All right, control save. We need to save this as well. But before we run it, we do have a problem. Like I said, get rid of that. This right here, todos.length, when we grab it from the database, todos.length is not going to be 1 because we already do have stuff in our database. As in the previous video, we do have stuff in our database, so it's not going to be 1. It's going to throw out an error. The way we actually do this is we're actually going to have kind of like a middleware for this, but it's for mocha. This is the mocha keyword. So we're going to do before each. Okay. So what this does is it's going to run this before any test runs. And in this, we're going to actually clear out the database. So let me explain to you. We're going to do the done function in here. Done. Because we got to tell it when it's done. Since it's async, remember, it's going to connect to the database and destroy all that and then come back. So when it's async call. So in here, we're going to do todo dot remove. And we're going to pass it in an empty object, meaning it's basically going to just delete everything inside the to do collection. We're going to do .then. We're not going to pass the value. Once that's done, we're going to just put done in here. And you don't have to have the bracket. You can just put done. So this is going to run before any test runs. Okay, so we're gonna remove this is why we could actually do this now. It's gonna remove everything, so the database is gonna clear out. We are gonna send 1 in, so the length is going to be 1, and we can actually assert from that. So we're gonna save this, and now we're gonna run it. npm run test watch. Oh, we get an error. Done. Don't supposed to have that semicolon. Control save. Oh, we get it failing. Let's see why we get failing. Should create new to do. App.address is not a function. App.address. Where is this at? Hold on, guys. Let me figure it out. Alright guys, I figured it out. It's actually my mistake. We're supposed to add these brackets. If you don't have these brackets in other curly braces, you could just do .app over here and just get rid of this and just have it like this. We had it like this before without the .app, but if you want it like this, you could just add the .app here and be done with it. But I'm actually going to just add the curly braces, and this is what was wrong with it. We didn't never declarated app.app, so that's why. So anyways, see, now it's actually running, and it said should create a new to do. Now if anything, we could actually check it. We can check it in our database. But if anything goes wrong, like we expect a 201, if we save that, it's gonna throw out an error. Expected 201 created, got a 200, right? If anything goes wrong, it's going to throw out an error. This is pretty safe, guys. We're checking the actual stuff we're sending in. We're checking in inside the database as well. So this is pretty safe. Now that we have this, we are going to be doing our second test case. All right, what if it fails? What if something passes and it doesn't, like an empty string, right? We're going to be doing our second test case down here. So our description should not create to do with invalid body data. Okay, that's our description. We're gonna pass in done. All right, so in here we're actually be checking if something's wrong. Well, we're gonna throw out an error, so we're gonna request the app, and inside the app we're gonna get the .post. We're gonna post on the to-dos. We're gonna send an empty object. This is where we're gonna be testing an empty object. When we do that, and then when we do send an empty object, we expect a 400, meaning something went bad, and we're gonna end it here, but not just end it and it just done. We're gonna actually check something as well. So we're gonna do the error and result. So in here, if there's an error, we're gonna return done with error. If everything is good, we're actually going to be checking this. All right, so we're going to be checking the database. Nothing was added in the database. That's what we're going to be doing. So to do .find .then we're going to get all the to-dos if there is any to-dos, right? And we're going to expect to-dos .length .to be 0. And we're going to actually be done right there, because if it is 0, then we actually are finished. If it's not 0, we're going to catch it. Okay? .catch. We get an error. We're going to just put done error. Throw out the error. So if we save this now, control save. Oh, I already did it. Go back in here and restart it. We should get it both passing. All right, the reason why it passes, you might be asking, well, we added one up here. Why is it not adding? I mean, why is this not throwing error? The reason why is because we have this before each. Remember, this is going to happen every time it runs a test. So this is a test. So it does this, it removes it, and then runs this. So once it's done with that, it removes it again and then goes on to the next test. So that's what's so great about this before each. So now we're going to actually create a Git API or Git endpoint. We're going to grab all of our to-dos. Now let's go back into our server. I'm going to exit out this for now. And I'm going to actually exit out this because we're not going to be needing this testing right now. And we're going to create a Git request or a Git handler, okay? So because this time we actually want to grab everything from the database. So Git, and anybody that hits the route /todos, yes, you can have the same URL for both of them. It just depends on the HTTP or the method that you're trying to do, right? So to-dos, and we're gonna have the same mode rec res. Now in here, we're gonna grab everything from the to-do collection. Okay, so to do, we've done it over here on our server test. We grabbed everything. So I'm actually going to copy this, go back here and to do.find.then, and we're going to grab everything to do's for every to do's. It's going to give us an array back of to do's, and we're going to just send it to our client, to our front end client. So res send, we're going to send in the as an object to do's. All right, now if anything goes wrong, we're going to catch it. So catch the error, and we're going to res dot send, or actually we're going to send the status first, right? Status as 400, and then we're going to send the error. Control save. Now everything should be working. It should be. So if we go inside our terminal and run it, so node server dash server.js, start on port 3000. Now let's open up Postman and check it with that. So I'm gonna open up Postman. No, I don't want to download. Leave me alone. We're gonna go to 3000 and we're gonna get localhost / to do's. Make this a little bit bigger so that way you can see what's going on. And this is from a long time ago. I'm clear all that. And it's going to be a get. So we're gonna send it, and we should get an empty array. That's because remember when we did our test, it actually deleted everything. So, but we're actually going to create one. Okay, we're gonna create one and run it again to see if it actually works. So we're gonna do a post, and it's gonna be in the to do's, but instead of the author, we're gonna go to body, the raw JSON. We're gonna get a text. Coming from Postman. Well, then I'm gonna type server dot test dot js, so that way we actually know it's coming from. It's not coming from this. I'm just saying since this is the new thing we created in this video, this is why. Now we send it. We should get our created to do. Now if we actually go back to get, instead of doing all this again and get, we could just click on the right hand side. We could just click right here and it'll take us back to what we wanted, and we're gonna just send that. And we look at this, we get an object with the to do's array, and we get our thing back. We're gonna send one more. We're gonna post one more, coming from Postman server.js a second time. We're gonna send that, and you should get it right here, false and completed at null. Don't worry, we will be getting at these two later on down the road. We're gonna go back to the get, and we're gonna just send that again, and we look at this, we get our both. So this is actually working, guys. Cancel, delete, don't save. But as you can see, it's actually working. Now we gotta test it with our mocha. All right, back in here, don't open that, back in here. But before we do anything in here, we are gonna have a problem. This before reach is gonna keep on removing everything, so we're never going to be able to test if the get function, right? Because we want to get data from the database, but before that runs, it's gonna remove everything and it's gonna get an empty array. So we gotta modify this a bit to actually get this thing working. So what I'm going to do is going to create a constant. We're going to plant some seed data. That's what we're going to do. We're going to create a constant. We're going to name it to do's. we're going to make that equal to an array because we store it as an array with objects inside of it, right? So we're going to do text. The first one's going to be text with first to do. All right, we got that. And our second one will be, let me go back here, are going to be text. I'm just adding 2 seed datas right now, so you can add more if you want to, but I'm just adding 2. Test for second test to do, and I'm gonna just for, you know. All right, now that we have that seed data, we're gonna actually modify it to actually create this test data every time before these two. So in here, instead of to do dot remove dot then, instead of the done function, we're actually going to make a function. Okay, we're going to need something here. We're gonna actually do return to do dot insert, because we need to insert that dummy data many, and we're gonna insert the to do's. All right, dot then, and then we're gonna do dot then. Once that's done, we're gonna put no value. We're just going to return done. But this is going to give us an error. The reason why is because now we're inserting 2, and down here we're expecting the database to have 1, and then we're also expecting the database to have 0. As we're going to see right now, control save, we're failing 2 of them because we received 3. The first one receives 3 because we're adding 1 extra one. Where is it at? Right here. We're adding this extra 1. We're already putting in 2. Now we're adding 1 more, which is 3, and we're expecting it to be 1. And down here, it's saying that expected 0, received 2. That's because we are expecting 0, but we did initially add 2. So we do need to modify our code down here. And the way we're going to do that is, in this very first one, right here, we're going to find an object where text is equal, the property text is equal to the text value up here, which in the short term, we could actually just do text. Now this will give us 1 successful message, 1 passing, but now we have to deal with the 1 down here. Well, that's easy. We're gonna just switch this 0 to be 2. The reason why is because we're inserting 2. Now we should expect 2, only 2 to be coming in. Now that we have that, we're going to come down here, and we're gonna actually do another describe block, so that way we could describe our test unit, and this is going to be get slash todos, and we're gonna tell it right here, it should get all to-dos. And we're going to pass it in the callback with the done. And here we're going to check, well, basically the same thing as above, but we're going to request we're going to request the app, and then we're going to get the get method, and we're going to grab the slash todos. No, not to do todos. And we're going to expect 200 coming back at us. And we're also going to expect other things inside the body. So expect, we're going to throw in the res right here, the response. We're going to expect in here, expect res dot body dot to do to do's dot length to be 2. All right, now with that dot end, now that we have that, let's just save that. It's going to restart over here, and we should get 3 passing, but we don't. The reason why is because cannot read property call. What happened? Of undefined. Let me see. Should get all to do's. Oh, we forgot to pass in done in here. Now control save, restart it. There you go. We get all 3 passing. So now that we have that in place, guys, the next thing we're gonna do on the next video, we're gonna actually create. Well, we're gonna deploy it first of all, so that way we can just deploy it. And then after that, after we deploy it, we're gonna actually create a Git route for a specific to do. Okay, and then we're gonna test that as well. And then we might do a delete a to do, a specific to do. So stay tuned, guys. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Please like or dislike this video, and please leave a comment down below on what do you think about the videos, if I'm going too fast, or do you want my videos to be shorter on the long term. Yeah, any feedback would be great from you guys, but I greatly appreciate everything. But thank you guys so much for everything, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.